Okay. So, when we last left off, our fellowship has returned to Archit, triumphant after having reclaimed the Archit lumber mill from the terrifying forces of Digger and his 13 orphaned children. Digger the dwarf. I don't know. It seemed like it was a somewhat emotional session, so that was fun. Our fellowship accompanied Digger and the children back to Archit. Archit has agreed to take on the responsibility of the children, and after a heartfelt goodbye the evening before, as Digger sung lullabies to all of the children and packed up all of the beds that he had personally constructed for all of the children, they have returned to Archit. And when we left off, the fellowship was having a discussion in the main hall of Archit about kind of heading north and looking for a troll that has been rumored for a few sessions now, and that they think, they're fairly certain, thanks to Lissa, Fitch Talltree's wife, that Fitch himself has gone to hunt. While they were having this discussion in the open, which is perfectly fine, they're heroes, Digger actually showed some interest in joining them as they head north. If you'll recall, Ange, for one, although I believe at the end of the session he also just kind of put it down on the table, saw a map that he had of all of the homesteads that the force of orcs, led by a troll, as the children say, has kind of raised in the area north of Archit. As shown on our map, kind of a general area. There was a question and an interest, I think, of Narniel in the fact that it looked like maybe they're holed up in Fornost, which is a ruined city to the north. I did not confirm nor deny that, but there definitely is a pattern of the areas that have the farmsteads that have been taken or destroyed kind of southward from that general location of Fornost. So I believe you all agreed that you would allow Digger to accompany you, and then that's where we finished off last session.
Yes. We're going on travels to kill something.
We were planning on helping, what's his name? That was going to hunt that bear, or ogre, or...
Yeah, we don't know what he's specifically going to do.
The assumption is that Fitch went hunting for the troll that killed his father. There's also been a troll mentioned that attacked all of the farmsteads that several of the children actually saw as they escaped. And yeah, with Digger's map, you should be able to kind of backtrace a trail of where this force came from.
Okay. So this area where you've marked on the map.
Yes.
Is it generally just fields with the odd little town here and there, or homestead, or is it all farms or anything?
So it's a good question, and let me give you a response. If I go here, okay. We're going to make this available in everybody's journal. And we'll push it through. So this is kind of a picture of the Weather Hills. The Weather Hills are pretty open. Occasionally there's a small copse of trees, anywhere from 1 or 2 or 3 to a small, very small wood that could easily be skirted. And as you kind of head up into the Weather Hills, it gets more kind of rocky and barren. Well, barren's not the right word, but it's definitely more open, less wood, more scrubland. This area here, although it may not appear to be so on the map, it is kind of like the northern arm of the Weather Hills, and there is kind of a pass kind of area, if you will, a lowland, just to the southeast of Fornost, where you can see there's a break in the hills, but it's still roughly kind of the same terrain. As far as farms go, there are homesteads. Just to give you a general kind of rough idea, I believe I said there were 7 homesteads.
I don't know if you even told us how many homesteads there were.
Well, Digger has them marked on his map.
Yeah, he had a few, but not all of them, I think. From what he
Right.
said.
Hang on. But yeah, so Digger has several homesteads marked on his map. And they are kind of spread out. One's there, one's closer to Fornost. There were a couple closer to Chetwood. And, you know, he has names associated with all of those that you recognize from when he introduced you to the children. So each one of these hexes is a pretty large, sorry, you don't see the hex map, my mistake. The distance between each of those farms is easily a day and a half. So it's not super populated. This is very much a matter of, you know, occasionally people go out and sometimes, you know, they set up farms, and these farms last a good long while, but the wilds are dangerous, and sometimes people don't last quite as long. So without interviewing the children in more detail, it's difficult to say how long some of these farms have been there, but you would guess with the ones that Digger has outlined, you're probably not going to find any other ones. It's not a heavily populated space.
Okay. Yeah, so if we're traveling with Digger, it was only Erennial that saw the map, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, he when he saw all of you speaking in the main hall, he put the map down so all could see.
Oh, right, yes, of course.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I think the discussion with that is obviously we've agreed, let's all got stick together, but then I think that retracing back through these steps might be the best way to go. Because look, at my point of view is this all could be that they're holed up in the ruins and they're canvassing that area, and they could be coming closer and closer. Because they had dealings with actual goblins, or has it just been bandits and?
Well, the troll rampaged through Archit quite some time ago, which is why they moved into the trees. Assumingly the same troll that Fitch and his father faced.
Yeah.
But, you know, aside from, I would say, encounters with goblins on occasion in the wood and beyond, I wouldn't say that there's been a force of orcs and goblins that have approached Archit.
Yeah, I think that's
Possibly.
Yeah, but
Go
there was
ahead,
bandits
Ange.
and trolls, wasn't it?
Yeah, they have seen bandits. They're aware that there are bandits in the wood. The bandits tend to avoid the people of Archit because most of them are essentially like exiled. So the Archit folk aren't necessarily going to put them down on sight, but they know that they're not going to have any kind of sympathy from the Archit folk who have already exiled them, right? So yeah, it's the Archit folk will be very upfront about that. They will say, yeah, we're certain they're surviving in the wood, but we don't really engage with them. And then as far as the orcs and goblins go, aside from the occasional small group of them, they wouldn't say that they're not aware of a large force anywhere.
Okay. I'm just trying to put it all together because we came across the goblins at Combi,
Correct.
but there was no evidence of any kind of troll.
Not with those goblins. No, not that you saw.
Yeah, not that we found.
No.
And we've not. Obviously, at this time, we've not heard of anything more of it. I'm just wondering whether my original thought that they've come down, whether it's actually that they've gone up.
Well, anybody with any points in battle would guess that if that group of goblins in Combi were not just kind of a small group looking out for themselves, they could be a scouting party of a larger force.
Yeah.
The cave that you tracked them to was certainly large enough to accommodate a much larger group. And also large enough to accommodate a troll if it came to that. So it's possible they were scouting for new locations or locations closer to the action, as it were, in terms of Combi, Archit, and Staddle. Possibly they were even looking for, speaking again to anybody who has battle that might kind of extrapolate this, it's possible they might have been actually looking for a fortress that they could act from on Bree itself, which is, a fairly fortified town. I mean, Bree itself, you'll recall from your visit, has stout walls that are partially wood, also partially stone. There's a deep ditch as well as a pretty large palisade. Like, Bree's designed to defend itself should it come to that. So maybe there's a group looking to kind of get into position to march on Bree.
Hampton is kind of, why don't we just get supplies, go out to the first farm, and then move to the second farm and see what we find? And that way we have a stopping off point in case Traston gets over his constipation and needs to stop from the Lambert spread, and then we can stop and have food as needed and investigate things. Sometimes we make things so complicated, doesn't it?
Hanson feels a meaty hand come down on his shoulder in a pat, and it's Digger standing behind you. He's like, I like this one.
You might be the first.
I don't think that's a bad idea.
No.
I mean, we could sit and we could discuss and we could sing a song and everything, but ultimately we got to go out into the wilderness. We've got to be the heroes we were born to be. Fighting is needed to defend the people.
What time of day is it?
So you all traveled here in the morning from the mill, which is only about an hour, even with a wagon laden with all of the children's beds and whatnot. So it's still, early to mid-morning.
Okay.
We
Yeah,
can
so-
head out after lunch. If we push hard and only stop for afternoon tea, we might be able to get to the first farm by dinner. We can stop, have dinner, then we can have a scout round, then we can have supper, bed down for the night, relax, have some pie, enjoy it. And if nothing else happens, we can have a better look the next day after first breakfast. And then before we move on to the next farm, we can have second breakfast.
We will go to the first town and we will assess the situation.
You might need to prep some sandwiches.
That's what I said.
Yes, but we might not be able to sit down and have and eat. So just take some food and we will assess it when we get there.
I thought we were civilized people, not goblins or orcs or trollsies.
Yes, but we might
sit and have dinner.
We might find them there. So we might not be able to
Well, that's
stop
good. If we find them there, we can stab, take them down, return back to Archer. Heroes, yay. Hamson Con, the hero of Archers. Yes, I can see it now.
So
I could be a celebrity hero chef.
We'll only have 3 meals a day.
I thought you only had 1 meal a day. That's why you're so grumpy and constipated.
That's only when I need to travel for a long while.
I think we should make haste, not wait till after lunch.
What ingredients do we need to make haste? I probably got them.
You're 2 feet on the ground going.
Right. I think we can do that. Yes.
So this will be a bit of a trek. So the question you have to ask yourself is, do you want to plan on... Basically, you're going to have to treat this like a journey.
Yeah.
So it's not like you have to worry about supplies or anything like that. It's assumed that you have all of the day-to-day supplies that you need. But what we will have to figure out... we will have to figure out and do the journey rolls for this. So I think what we need to figure out is what is our goal, right? Because, you can go from point to point on Digger's map, but is your ultimate goal to find potentially where this group might be, specifically the troll?
Okay, definitely.
That's the goal. I think it's just we want to assess. I don't really know what we're looking for at the actual homesteads. I think it's just we kind of want to see that for ourselves, kind of thing.
Sure.
Oh, and with some luck, we might even find the grave robbers.
It's possible, I suppose.
You think there'd be graves at the homesteads then?
3 jobs, really, isn't it? Troll, families, and the guy. It's like we're going to do we're doing the whole shebang in one go.
It looks like you're trying to, yeah, which is fine.
Is that like a souffle?
Yeah.
So the reason why I ask what your goal is it sounds like Narniel has made some... I'm not going to say assumptions. I'm going to say Narniel has intuited some things based on the map, right?
Yeah.
And it seems like Narniel seems to think that Fornost might be the location that you're trying to get to, right? From everything that you've been saying. So I think it's good if we decide that we're going to plot our journey to Fornost itself. So that's kind of the end point that you're trying to get to, right? And then you'll be checking the farms along the way for any signs or information. My question is, do you want to try to hit each of those locations, or you just want to hit 2 or 3 of them on the way to Fornost?
Well, you might even be able to check 4, but I potentially need to skip 2 of the bottom ones.
What do we take? Bottom left, middle left, and then top right, and then top left.
Yeah, that's what I was imagining that Traston was indicating, perhaps.
Okay.
You can only take the left 2 or the right 2, The top 2 we can always take.
Yep.
How do I do the? I was gonna try and select the ones we were doing, but I don't know how to do it on this thing. But yeah,
I don't know how to let you do that either. So
I mean, I can draw
thinking
shapes, but I
like
don't
this.
Yeah,
Oh,
there. This you can go like that.
Oh, they.
Really.
Or yeah, the one that you drawn.
Yeah.
There we go. So we've got a red path and a green path,
Red.
and then ending in Fornost. So Angie says red.
The most
Is that what
direct
everybody
route
wants to
would
do?
be red. Yes.
Yeah,
Red
because I think
sounds
we're
good.
starting off closer to the road.
Yeah.
No, well, also because we are now in Archid, and the closest farmstead is the left one.
That's true.
Because the
I
right one we
think-
need to go off course a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the
Would
fact that it
troll
takes us closer
hide
to the
at
forest.
farmstead closest to the road? That's the question. We need to put ourselves in the mind of a troll.
Trust me, you don't have
Tristan,
I don't think
Tristan,
anyone has ever.
what do you think a troll would do?
that. I don't even think a troll is in the capacity to think.
Ah,
They're not.
you're
that
experienced then. Good, good, good. Well, I'm happy to go red or green. I don't mind.
smart. What?
I think. From where did Digger come from? Which direction did he come from? Because obviously he found these children.
Oh well, he kind of like roams around in the area,
Okay.
but most of the children he found. If I had to give you a point of reference on the map, most of the children he found kind of in this lower area of the hills and around the Chetwood. So like they were fleeing.
Right.
Digger himself would have come down the road and then cut over to Archit in his travels, but he does most of his work in the Chetwood. So
Yeah.
he doesn't really, other than having the map where the kids told him roughly where their farmsteads were, he doesn't really know anything about the area.
Yeah, I just wanted to check.
Sure.
But yeah, I guess, I mean, all the kids would have just run to the nearest, where they knew the nearest town was, I guess. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
So, yeah. All right. Well, we've got a path. So now we need to figure out who's going to be doing what. Digger is not really great at journeying, and he's not a player hero, so he's not going to be the focus of it anyway. So we need a guide, and then we need somebody to be hunter, lookout, scout, and then whoever's left can be either another hunter, another lookout, or
I'll go
another
for
scout.
hunting because I've got 2 in hunting. It's one of my ticked ones.
I'll be the one
I
that
have
does.
2 in travel, which is ticked.
Yeah, I can do awareness, whichever one that is.
Okay, so
I can do
Traston
awareness
has
travel.
travel ticked, so you can be the
And
guide.
awareness, so I could do both of those, but
But you can only if you're the guide, you can only be the guide.
nah, that's okay.
Yeah.
But
Scout
I have
use-
both ticked. 2
Sure.
levels and ticked.
Okay. So scouts use explore, lookouts use awareness. So it sounds like Hampson wants to do that.
Well, I'll be on Daisy with the cart, so I'll be up high.
Sure.
Careful you
So-
don't get nosebleed up being that up high.
Hampson's a lookout.
Please don't be constipated.
Araniel is a hunter.
Yep.
And so all we need is a scout with explorer.
We really don't want me doing exploring.
Uh,
Does Araniel have it?
I have points in it. It's not ticked, but I have points in exploring.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't mind doing that.
Okay. You don't have to be ticked. It just makes you better at it.
Okay.
And then, so we've got all areas covered. So Shadon can be whatever
I
he
could
wants.
do another aware.
So another lookout. Okay.
Yeah, I think that
You
that
can
would be
just
the
sit there and
best
look
place
handsome.
anyway.
Just
Okay.
sit there and look pretty.
So, what we need then is a series of rolls, and then we'll see how they fall out, and we will discuss what happens. So we will start with Traston as the guide. You need to give me a travel roll.
Success.
Wow. Decent success, right? 19. Okay.
Wow.
So with a 19, but no additional special dice, that means
Phenomena. You started, I need to finish it.
I did, yeah, that's fair. Okay, so roll is a success. We get an event at a distance of that plus 1 for each that. So back to the map. You started in Archit. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Let's get rid of that. And let's move the token. So you started in Archit, which is technically here. So we're going to go eek, eek, eek. All right. As you pass through the first location marked on the map, it is on the edge of a slightly larger wood that's not connected to the Chetwood. There's kind of an expanse between the two. The farm is in shambles. The fields are not taken care of for quite some time. Anybody with any kind of natural skill would know that these fields have lain fallow for probably at least a season at that point. All of the fields, right? It's common for some fields to be fallow, but not all of them. They're overgrown. They haven't been tilled. Once you come upon the farmhouse itself, it is standing, but that's the best you can say. It is burned out quite some time ago. Again, probably you would guess about a season. Everything inside the building is burned. A lot of the stout oak framing has managed to remain standing, and of course the stone foundations. But this structure is no longer safe for anyone. And the main farmhouse structure, as well as several of the outbuildings, are damaged in this way. If anybody wants to investigate with a scan roll, or if you want to just kind of wander around with an awareness check to see if you can pull any more information out of the location, I'll allow you to do so.
Do a quick scan roll, but don't see anything.
No.
So
I would
with
also, could I also
I'm
use
sorry.
awareness then?
you can, yeah.
I will use awareness because that's better for me. See?
Okay, so with Hampson's scan roll, again, it's difficult to tell because of the amount of fire damage, but you definitely get the sense that the buildings were, what's the word I'm looking for? They were intentionally burned. This is not a lightning strike. This is not an accidental fire from a hearth of some kind. There are signs that torches and other flammable materials were placed specifically to burn and deal as much damage to these buildings as possible. With Traston's awareness roll, you do manage to catch signs of, we'll say, poorly shod feet. You would guess that these are either they're old, right? So it's difficult to say for sure, because you can definitely tell that these tracks have been here for a while. but some of the tracks and some of the deeper kind of caked or dried mud areas indicate that it would be probably either something orc make, very crude, very let's just say not attractive in the way that an elf might craft a boot, or something that was just kind of cobbled together in the wood by, say, a group of bandits who have been exiled from society and had to make do on their own. So it's difficult to say, but you definitely get the sense that a large force traveled through here. Moving on to the second location, once you reach that, it's more of the same. However, I'm going to need our lookouts to make their awareness checks here.
Uh-oh, he's grabbing something. It doesn't look good.
Oh,
A great success.
wow. Hey,
Shade on, nice.
great success.
Great success from Hanson.
Okay, so as you reach the area of the second homestead, you can see it in the distance, but you also notice a very foreboding storm cloud on the horizon. And none of you are really that kind of person. I was going to say if your bones are telling true, but we've got 2 elves, 2 rangers, and a hobbit, none of which probably deal with aged bones. But you can tell it
in real
gut,
life. I would feel it in my metal plate.
right?
Is it like there's a chill wind running through the pantry? That Hanson might know. Yeah.
Yes. That's actually really good imagery for a hobbit. I love it. So you can definitely tell in your gut, you get that sense of that chill wind through an empty pantry, that this one is going to be, this one is going to be bad. However, thanks to both of your amazing successes, you do manage to find cover and wait out the evening so that the storm doesn't.
Are we in this farmstead?
No, you take cover in like a cave that you find nearby. And with those great successes, I'm also going to say that this cave, because of your amazing success with awareness, also has some treasure in it that you find. It's an old hole that somebody has stored some treasure inside of. So everybody, so it's not quite that good. Maybe if we'd gotten a little bit more on the great successes. But I will say that you find enough and you're able to load into Hampson's cart, should you wish to take it, enough treasure so that each of you can improve your treasure rating by 1.
Wow. Good job, Hanson.
Well, that was Shadon too. The 2 of you together managed to find this place, and
We make a good team.
I wonder if I can remember where the
Hobbit and
treasure
elf
thing was.
together. It's amazing what you can do when you work together. Don't have a sword in your belly.
treasure rating is. Does anybody looking at their sheet, can you tell Ange where the treasure rating is?
Right hand side.
Experience above mount.
Yep, just increase it by 1.
That is going to be.
So that was a very positive encounter. We need another travel roll from Traston, though.
Okay, I'll gladly oblige.
We move on to our next leg.
Okay, nice.
The only one.
Yeah, missed by 1.
Only missed by 1.
Yeah, definitely could have been worse. Could have been worse. But
could I bump it up to 16 with a hope?
You can spend a point of hope and roll another skill die. Just roll a d6, see what you get.
Okay, let's just do that. So 1d6.
Okay. Well, if you only missed by 1, that definitely brings you up to it. Yeah, your target number is 16. So yeah, okay. So with a success, you're able to then continue traveling. Hit that homestead. Hit that homestead. And then actually make it to Fornost. So traveling through the other 3 homesteads, I'll quickly narrate those. It's more the same. It's just that the damage seems to be further out, almost as if as you're heading north past these barren and destroyed homesteads, you're almost traveling back in time, as it were, indicating that whatever group has been moving south, they've been doing so over a long period of time, which also tracks with what Digger has told you of his finding the children at different times and different seasons. But yeah, at the end of your journey, you come within sight of Fornost, and Fornost, it looks like Fornost is burning.
Oh.
So the ruins are quite extensive, and you see columns of smoke coming up in several places.
And this is a place that's been ruins for quite a long time as well.
Yeah, centuries.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think we'd approach it a lot more cautiously. I don't really know if we can get a vantage point.
Now I'm really wondering if
burning.
Why
we should go in and make sure there's no one in trouble.
Any cooking?
Something ancient. Why would someone?
So I didn't catch all of that, Scoon. Do you want to say that again?
I'm now wondering, why would someone want to burn something this ancient?
Well, as you,
if they knew we were coming,
maybe they don't care.
They wanted to distract us or stop us from catching them. I mean, we've been traveling around here for a while. As you get
closer,
they could have the farmers in there. We must get in there quick.
They're ransacking everywhere, but I don't think they care.
As you get closer, the columns of smoke kind of spread out a little bit more, and you're getting the sense that these are probably bonfires, not necessarily the city on fire.
Okay.
Okay, and how many?
As they start to kind of separate out and you can tell the difference between the different columns of smoke, you would get a quick count. There might be 40 or 50 fires.
Wow, okay.
Can we hear
any ruckus?
Yeah, like, you know.
Do you want to get closer?
Screaming, people running about. You know, so does it sound like that? You know, can we hear anything?
So you're still quite a ways from the city.
Oh, right.
But
okay. So
the closer you get, you could potentially.
We should probably.
I think we would have to pick up speed then and get a bit quicker. We need, like what Hanson said. We know we need to get in there. There might be people in need of help. We need to go quick.
So.
But we need to be stealthy. We need to find somewhere to hide the horses and the treasure and the carts.
That's a good point.
And then we move in quietly on feet. Yes.
So
yeah.
So we need to find like a bushel of trees or
something where we can tie up the horses and Daisy and the cart, cover it up.
Do you want to be really, really stealthy about it, or do you just want to take the first thing that looks like it might work?
No, really stealthy.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna need whoever wants to try and find it. Let's do an explore roll, which can be assisted by others.
That's not me.
Well, I'm not that good at it, but I will assist.
I think if I recall correctly, I believe Angie is really good at exploring.
I have it ticked with one pip.
Yeah, I have a couple.
I only have 1 point in it, but not ticked.
I mean, well, Stop.
I think Ange took an ability. Oh, let's see, what is it? It's hunting. Oh yeah, with Explore. So, Ange, you can actually spend a point of hope to get a magical success on Explore, hunting, or travel.
And
Yeah, sorry, I've got that magical success thing. I was trying to get Mark's attention, but I think he's got... I was muted.
Right.
So yeah, I've got that. So how does that work then?
So you drop your hope by 1, which is
14 at the minute.
Yep. So
Okay,
you're just going to lower your current hope to 13,
Yeah, huh?
and then you succeed.
I don't have to roll.
No.
Simple as
Yeah,
that.
when you get
Yeah.
a magical success, you just get a
Absolutely.
magical success.
Phenomenally brilliant.
So, with Ange in the lead, with Araniel in the lead, she kind of... Well, I'll let you describe it, Ange. How do you find a place, and what do you find going to completely obscure and protect the mounts, the cart, the treasure that you've collected?
So as we are walking along, I see sort of a copse of trees, but I notice behind it there's an old like stable, sort of. But it literally is behind these copse of trees. It's like, I think it was almost like it was designed for that reason. So I sort of point it out, but you have to go round it to get into it. You know, it's not a straight walk in. You know what I mean? So there's I sort of this way, and I start to disappear into like round this corner, and it looks a bit weird. And then I sort of like, no, we need to go in here first. We need to, and I found somewhere safe. It was probably an old bandit place or something.
So yeah, it's in very well repair, very good repair. And upon entering the stable, all of you gain a sense that it was meant for you to find it, which is very strange. It doesn't make sense. But yeah, you find this amazing stable that's off the main path, off to the side, difficult to see in the copse of trees. And after you get your mounts and the cart and everything just kind of set up, even as you leave the place, the further you walk away from it, you almost kind of forget where it is, except Araniel doesn't.
No. As we're walking away, though, I am like sort of like doing some stuff on the floor to get rid of any tracks.
That's actually a really good idea. There's plenty of branches around that you could pick up and kind of like use as a sweep behind you to kind of cover up your tracks.
I'm sort of sweeping it and also throwing bits of twigs and that on it, so it looks like
Sure.
you know, it's just
Okay. All right. So you've got your mounts and your treasure secured to the point where 4 of you don't even recall where it is now.
cool.
we don't need to. It's fine.
Just don't lose Araniel.
Yep.
If I die, unfortunately, the treasure's lost forever.
It's all lost. Daisy's lost. Seuss is lost. The cart, everything. No, it won't.
Oh,
Yeah.
gone
You will
forever.
not die.
Oh my god, has Handsome left his food supplies on there?
Yes. Well,
Apart from I've got lunch for me, some drink for me, some other bits and bobs for me. So yes, I'll be fine. Don't worry, I'll be fine.
I can just imagine you with this backpack, but it's so well made that it doesn't even affect you when you're trying to be sneaky.
Exactly.
Everything fits so tight that you can fit so much in it. It's just there. And
Right spot. You know, there's a space for knife, fork, spoon, place for cup, bowl, bottle of water, bottle of wine, sandwiches, second set of sandwiches, some breakfast sandwiches the next morning because I knew we were going to miss breakfast. Yeah, anything, snacks, nuts, berries. Yeah, I'll be fine. The rest of you are going to have to eat lambus bread and be constipated, but I'll be fine.
Are all of these things like perfectly stored inside like Hampson's jacket? Does he have a sack?
Backpack, jacket. There's a frying pan hanging at his hip. Flint and tinder there as well. Yes. Saucepan, hanging from the from the backpack. Yes.
And everything's just so professionally and well, like strapped down, so no movement.
Right.
You can still be sneaky, but you got to be fed.
Absolutely, yes. Need to be fed. Well, I need to be fed anyway.
We all know that Hampson is fat.
I am not fat.
Sir.
I am well proportioned.
Healthy.
Rotund.
Hobbits are healthy.
Yes. At least I can go. Constipated elf.
Okay, so let's see. That was on the... Okay, so you would have left on High Day, and that trip would have taken... I'll figure out the number of days later, but I want to say probably 6 days. So, yep, we'll make it it's the next High Day. Trying to keep track of the dates here. So that is today. Done. All right. So you've stashed everything. The city, Fornos is quite large. All of you have seen Bree, and Bree is significant. Fornos is easily, or was, twice, possibly even 3 times the size of Bree. And you're seeing a lot of paths you can take to enter the city that would potentially take you close to or around some of the fires. But yeah, how do you want to move forward? Do you want to get close to any of these? I'm imagining you're still on the outskirts of the city.
I'll scout a route through. And Hampson's gone.
I don't think we'd go direct in. I think we would scoot left.
Okay. So Hampson disappears. And he goes off to scout. All of you do, I would imagine you all still probably remember the Archit call, so at least you have some method of calling out to each other in this rather large city. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not those calls seem out of place in a ruined city. But I think with Hampson splitting off to be on his own, I think maybe that's a good time for us to take a bit of a cliffhanger break. So, as you get closer, I can answer your question now, and you do hear sounds. Quite a lot, actually. You feel like you can hear the sounds of some kind of maybe smithing going on in the distance. Definitely the ting-ting of hammering away at some kind of metal. That's carrying quite well.
Not the sounds we were expecting then.
Well, let me get there. You definitely hear closer to you, probably from one of the closer fires, you would imagine, the raucous sounds that you might hear at one of the Rangers of the North's camps, actually. People probably having a meal. It is getting on in the afternoon at this point. Pardon me. And you hear laughter and people probably telling jokes and stories to each other. The problem is the language is off. It's definitely the tongue of orcs and goblins that you're hearing intermixed with some of the common tongue. And the more you listen, the more you can hear those kind of guttural rumblings and high-pitched titterings and from most directions as you move as stealthily as you can into the ruins. Hamson, of course, can hear all this as well as he's kind of stealthing off on his own.
Do you need a stealth roll from me?
Yeah, give me one so I have an idea on how well you're doing. Very, very well. All right.
Nice.
Cheeky boy.
So,
We count this as a natural 20.
Wow.
what's that?
It's a total of 20. Would we count this as a natural 20?
No. Maybe if there was a Gandalf rune, then it would be close to that. But yeah, Hamson did just really effectively melt away from all of you, and maybe you suddenly recognize that there isn't any kind of conversation from him. And he's simply gone. Digger has pulled out his axe, and any looking closely at him notice that his knuckles are just kind of turning white as he's holding onto that axe with significant force.
Pull my bow out.
Okay. So
oh.
no, it's just I'm just trying to assess the situation of how is the best way to do it, because it's just from what we can hear, there's. I mean, is charging in a good idea? I mean, we're still going to do it, whether it's a good idea or not. I don't know.
I can tell you that even as you approach what would probably be the nearest fire, you can hear several voices just around that fire, right?
Yeah.
And so if you had to guess, like I said earlier, there's probably 30 or 40, maybe even more fires currently throughout the city. Let's say, I don't know, 10 enemies for each fire. That's a lot of enemies.
Yeah.
Probably don't want to just kind of openly walk in. You guys are heroes, don't get me wrong. But
We're not stupid.
You're not take down 400 orcs heroes.
400?
10 times 40.
I think if you listen to Angie's character in Warhammer, yes.
Walk in the park, isn't it?
Okay.
Okay, so I will turn to Digger and go, wait, calm down. There's no way we're going in there. I mean, I know we want to get revenge and that, but right now, that's just walking into our own death.
I agree. We should probably warn the Rangers of the North. They could find, armies and come take care of it.
We need to warn everybody about this.
Yeah.
I feel this takes more like a tactical entering instead of just barging in.
Yeah.
It needs more than 6 of us.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think we should go in there as I come walking back out.
No, we definitely not going in there. And I pull us all
I was
really...
going to use Hamson. You were doing so good stealthing. I was going to let you sneak around a bit. No? All right.
No.
I kind of we're not in. They can't see us. We're not in.
You've not been seen by anyone yet. You've not given.
Before anyone sees us, I pull us all into the bush.
Okay. So let me say this: from what Hamson did see as he kind of scouted ahead, is it may be possible to scout the ruins, because from what you did see, it's not like there are orcs on every corner, right? So it's possible you could scout the ruins and get a better assessment of the numbers. You possibly might even find... Let me put it this way. Think of it like this. Each of the fires is almost like its own little encampment, right? And there is some distance between each of the fires. So you might be able to move around some depending upon what you're looking for, but it is a large city and it could take time. Shadon's not wrong. This might be something that you want to have a larger force to meet. And while the Rangers of the North can certainly muster some people, Bree could also muster a militia. You could also Shadon could potentially go to Rivendell and ask Elrond if he would, send a detachment of elves to look into the situation as well.
Would I be able to go back to Mirkwood to ask Legolas for help?
So, I'm going to be honest with you. You could, but you wouldn't be asking Legolas, you'd be asking Thranduil, the king of the Woodland Hall, and he don't care what goes on this side of the mountains. He doesn't care what happens outside of Mirkwood.
Yeah, he's the one on the reindeer kind of creature.
Yep. Unless there's treasure to be had, because he really does like treasure for some reason, more than some elves. But yeah, Is
he part dwarven then?
So this is something that definitely is a threat that you all might want to seek counsel with members of the Wise, like Elrond and Gilrayan and whoever we've not met them yet, but whoever the head person of Bree is. But that would be something for beyond this particular game. Obviously, you're not going to muster that kind of stuff up in the next 30 minutes. So you had a goal. Your goal is to find the troll, find Fitch. Is that what you're still sticking with?
Yeah, I think, okay, if we can scout the area, I think scout it, see if there's a troll involved in there somewhere, see if any of the families are caged up or anything in there, and...
Sure.
You don't want to go in there anymore. It's like a big spider web centered around each of the fires. And there's orcs and goblins and all manner of foul creatures.
Spiders?
Sorry?
Are there actual spiders?
Oh, yes, there are definitely spiders in there. Yes.
Okay, there are no spiders.
I think we need to go in. I think we need to scout. So, we need to split up, go around the edge, and try and scout it and see and come back and meet up with the right information. Do not go in. If we go in,
you all want to go and have a look round?
Yes.
We're going to stealthily go round.
I would also just want to sneak inside.
I think it's a good idea before we go and speak to anybody for backup forces to know what we're dealing with.
Should I go back to Daisy and set up a camp and make a stew? So
no,
when
you're
you come
going
back
to
from
be
your
the hero that you're intended
stealthing
to be.
around, you have a hearty meal before we make our journey back to report these foul creatures here.
Handsome, you are a hero. Heroes don't run away and cook a stew. Heroes.
I am a hero, but I'm not stupid.
Hang on, everybody. Hang on. As you're having that conversation, and almost too perfectly, as Iraniel says, you are a hero. You hear a piercing scream in the distance.
Shit. I mean...
And it is the sound of someone in a significant amount of pain.
I thought we suddenly would hear where I thought all the good men gone in.
Very godmother.
Which direction is it coming from? Within the city? The ruins?
It is within the city, but if you had to guess, it's probably near the outskirts. There is a part of the city that's on a rise in the distance, and it looks like there might once have been a fortification there. Maybe a small, like a small keep. The walls are tumbled down. You think maybe you can see some ramshackle structures in the distance, but you get the sense that's where it's coming from, and there is a fire in the keep.
If you're all quiet, I could lead you in there.
We need to go. Someone needs help.
No,
Exactly.
be it Doom or not, I am booking it there.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if
You're not
I hear
going
a
to take
scream,
any measures to be stealthy?
well, I'm
Can
going
I
to make
do-
sure I'm
can
not
I-
being visible. I'm going to try to like deke around, but I'm not. I'm going to rush this stealth. Specifically.
I'm looking around for cowpats.
Can I do a stealth and
think it'll
use
be
that
Whatever. Shit.
Ways of
Hang
the
on.
Wild?
So, does it work with stealth?
Well, no, but it says hunting, so I was kind of thinking hunting stealth, you know.
It doesn't quite work with stealth. You can still spend hope, though. And spending hope to assist you with the die roll can give you additional dice. Now,
Okay.
if you're all moving together as a group, then I would let. If you wanted to, basically, I can see you as kind of assisting each other. If you wanted to,
If I lead, they can assist me, and we can work as a group to stealthily sneak through.
How high is your stealth? First
I've got
off.
2 pips.
It's not
in
low.
stealth.
His stealth, not low at all.
No, but I have 3 pips and it's checked.
I think Hamson's probably about the same, actually. So I'd probably have both of you roll with assistance from 2 of the other party members. That way, because one person helping 4 people stealth is more difficult than 2 people helping some additional people stealth each.
Well, I've got
right?
2 stealth, and I'm prepared to use a hope. Help.
Well, it'd be the primary rollers who have to use help. So it would be hope, rather. So it would be Scoon or Strain, because they are the most stealthy.
I'm the most hopeful one here.
But I will let each of you make a roll, and with the assistance of whoever you want to lead, whether it's the Rangers or the other elf, maybe the elves kind of take a path more elven-like, and then the Hobbit leads the Rangers.
Sounds logical.
But right? So I will let each of you make a stealth roll with 1 additional die.
If we spend hope, we get an additional die.
Correct.
Correct. Okay, I shall spend hope.
I'm not going to spend hope.
So we get 1 die.
So I'm going to roll. It's a great success. 25, wow.
Wow, jeez.
Did you need me to roll
and you
with
were just
them?
1 short
No.
round.
You're assisting, so you're giving them additional dice.
Okay, cool.
I also
Even
just
with your
FYI,
+2
I have
bonus.
a massive storm rolling through my area, so hopefully my power stays up. But just so
Oh
everybody's
no.
aware,
Oh, wait.
in case
You
I
have a
disappear.
higher target number, Strain. So you are less. You have less wits than I have.
It looks like you both did great, though.
Yes, I'm not saying that it's bad, but
So Hamson
the reason
succeeded.
his success isn't great is because his wits are lower. His target number is higher.
No, the great
it's all
success
about the roll.
is. Yeah, the great success is about one of the 6s rolling a 6. That's what a great success means.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So at any rate, you both succeed, and you lead your companions who are stealthy, but maybe perhaps not as stealthy as the 2 of you are, into the location of the keep. This area is just as ruined as the rest of the city. You manage to skirt some of the fires and find pathways through the streets or maybe off to the side. But eventually you reach the rise where the keep is. Luckily, it's Certainly not something that's being overly defended. You would guess that your assumption is it's orcs and goblins. You would assume that they feel relatively safe here. Otherwise, they wouldn't have so many fires going. So they don't seem to be overly concerned with setting watches or keeping an eye on things. So with relative ease and a decent amount of stealth, you find yourselves at the edge of what was once the walls to this keep. And in what would have been a great open central yard of the keep, you're all able to view several things. Firstly, there are a couple of kind of, I guess you could call them huts that have been constructed out of scrap wood and bits of stone from the ruins. Certainly functional, but certainly not attractive, as it were. Not good craftsmanship. In addition to that, there is a central fire that is currently burning. It's quite large, and it looks to have several shapes already charred and burning within it that would be equivalent to a person, as it were. They're gone at this point, whoever they would have been. And then you also see a pole near the fire that is probably a good 12 feet tall, roughly hewn. Looks like someone just felled a tree and kind of chopped off all the branches and just smashed this thing into the ground. And tied to said pole is what looks to be a man with some kind of a ragged sack, or perhaps a dirty, torn tunic that has been kind of looped over their head and tied off around their neck. They've got lesions on their chest, one of them very fresh, that would indicate that someone has been taking probably branches from the fire and pressing them up against the person's chest. And looking, as you do, at the bare-chested figure with the sack over their head, you can clearly see the scarring that you noticed several days ago in Archit that Fitch Talltree had from his first encounter with a troll.
Oh no.
Looks hungry, doesn't he? All stood up there. Oh, I'll go and cut him down. You get ready to protect us as we run out. Yes?
Yes.
There's no goblin. There's nothing else around. He's just on his own.
Not that you can see.
I can sneak there. You have your bows, and if the worst comes to the worst, you can make a lot of noise, and I'll get Fitch out.
Can I do it? Okay, I get my bow out, and I just check around the area quickly.
Okay. So, looking around the area, I will give you some opportunities. It is a ruin, and the walls could be climbed to give yourself, those of you that wish to fire upon any potential enemies, you could find yourself a perch that would give you a decent height and kind of put you outside of hand-to-hand combat and allow you to fire at will on anything within the courtyard. That is until any enemy decides that they want to clamber up there to meet you. The huts, you don't know what's in them. It's been a while since you heard the scream of pain, which you assume was Fitch. So it's possible that there might not be any foes in the huts, but it's also possible they might be in there. Beyond that, it's a relatively open space, would be easy to move around in, not much cover, so stealth in this case would be purely about staying quiet and reaching the pole to untie Fitch. But not seeing anyone in sight, and with the night deepening, it's certainly possible that Hampson or Traston, whoever, or anyone who wants to try and make a stealth check might be able to get up there.
Traston has a bow. He needs to be ready to shoot anyone that comes out.
When I'm stealthing, I would always have my bow out. Yeah.
Yeah,
So Traston has his bow out. Shadon does also have a bow.
But I'm almost wondering if somebody shouldn't, and I'm very willing to, accompany Hampson, just to be able to assist Fitch. I mean, once he's down, he's going to need somebody to help him move and get around. I don't want, Hampson to be stuck alone there.
Shadon, you go with him
I'm
then.
quite strong.
Shadon, go with him.
Well, why don't we have Narniel go with... Because Shadon's got a bow, Narniel hasn't. Narniel is very strong for a young lady, because she's a ranger of the north. Strong.
Okay, that's fine. We're losing
Hampson,
time.
you are not only brave, but you are also an excellent tactician. I will guard you with my bow.
And a marvelous cook.
Yeah,
Digger says, if you can get him to me, I'll carry him out.
If Narnia and I can get into you, Digger, then we can all get out. And then we have to go and walk, because there's too many here for us to take out. However amazing that I am at slaying spiders,
Less time talking, more time for action. Move now, quietly.
There are too many here for
Right.
Hampson to feed comfortably.
Deep breath. Pull an apple out of my thing.
Wait, question.
I take the apple off him and go, move it now.
Need some energy.
I want to ask, is one getting into position on the walls
Yeah, that'll be
just
me.
in
I'll do
case?
that. Yes.
Well, is it
100%.
dark? I want to know.
It is dark, but there is a large bonfire, essentially, burning in the center.
Since I have shots in the dark, and I just looked it up, I get a bonus on my bow shooting.
Yep, you sure do.
Let's see. It's when you are in a forest or at night, you are inspired in all your combat rolls.
Cool. I'm going to push myself against a hut wall.
The closest one, I assume?
Closest one, so I'm kind of like, so then I've got the overhang, I'm sort of like in the shadow of the hut, but I can see what's going on.
Sure.
It's like
Digger is-
listening to the hut as well.
Digger is going to stay on the outside. Sorry, Digger is going to stay on the outside of what the old wall would have been, but it's still close enough that he could rush in if need be.
Okay.
What is Narniel doing?
Ooh. She's going with Handsome, isn't she?
Yeah, I'm gonna follow Hampson with my sword at the ready, just in case.
Would I be able to shoot the bindings? Because it was just rope, right?
I mean, we need to be there to catch him.
Potentially, but he doesn't look like he's in a state to even recognize he's been cut free.
Okay. No.
If you take my meaning.
Otherwise, we shouldn't even have to be close.
Well, no, we still have to go and pick him up.
Yeah, somebody would have to drag him out or pick him up and help him out, because he's so
I'll
he's not standing tied to this pole. Like, he is slumped to the ground, leaning forward, hands behind his back. He might not even be conscious.
Then I will.
Difficult to say.
I will stay in the higher ground, ready to shoot whatever is moving closer and is a danger.
Okay. So I'm gonna need. I won't make Iraniel make a stealth roll because you didn't actually move into the kind of clearing. You're just kind of pressed up against the closest hut, so that's fine for now. I'm gonna need Narniel and Hampson to give me some stealth rolls, though.
Okay. Stealth.
I'm spending
Don't
a
be
point.
afraid to use hope.
I'm spending a point of
Oh, yeah.
hope.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh,
one short.
Oh, and with hope. The gods are not with you tonight there, Hanson.
I used 2 points of hope.
Yeah, you have
Wow,
an
extraordinary.
Yes.
She whooshes her
You rolled
cloak
2
around
sixes.
him.
Okay. So
Her cloak of invisibility.
I mean, it's nice, but
I can't
no,
see you,
unfortunately,
See me.
this works out quite well. So as Narniel is actually quite stealthy. You're not like hidden in shadows. I mean, you're just trying to move through, but like nobody can hear you. Unfortunately, as Hamson is moving forward, the one time in his life where he need not do so, he trips over his feet, goes down to one knee, and that makes the pot clang, the pan clang against Spider Slayer on his belt. And then you hear a grunt that, even to those of you on the wall, is so deep-throated and guttural, you can feel the bass reverb pass through your chest. And you hear someone say, "Who's that sneaking about out there?"
This is Iraniel's fault, because if she'd let me actually finish my apple, my belly wouldn't have grumbled and made me trip over my feet. It's Iraniel's fault.
Wow.
Wait, do you say that out loud?
Probably, yes.
I'd probably say that. Just muttering to yourself, just like, oh, that.
I love it.
Oh my
So, the Iraniel actually feels the vibrations the most.
Oh no.
And feels the hut that you're kind of pressed up against. You feel it tremor as the front door thatch, horribly constructed door thing slams open, and an absolutely massive troll steps out, ducking to get under the eave into the clearing, and all of you can see this thing. It's wearing scraps of mail that are kind of roughly sewn into a jerkin of some kind. It's carrying a halberd that is not quite as tall as it is, but not too far short of that. But the halberd is clearly of elven make. And Hamson and Narniel getting the more kind of front view of it, because it's kind of behind you, but in front of everyone else, if you're catching my meaning, my descriptions.
Able to give a good shot at the troll.
You will in a second. But this, you can tell that the troll is a woman, is a female troll. She is well built. She is muscular. She is tall. And in fact, seems to take relatively good care of herself. She, has plaited hair, for all that she's a troll. But yeah, it's a female troll, if that means anything to any of you.
No.
Calling back to something from earlier.
I'm going to look up at this troll.
Me and Angela, the cook's just trying to work.
Good,
Then
that.
just
What did we miss?
Oh, trolls sure smell.
She looks down at you and says, "Well, at least I'm not overridden by pests like you."
Don't call my friend a pest. She's lovely.
how good. I think I'll just be nudged him backwards towards.
Oh, hang on 1 second.
Okay.
You all continue to interact.
I'm trying to recall what's
happened?
happened about the female troll.
Why are they making all that ruckus, talking and having a conversation there?
Because he's a troll, can't you see? Actually,
Yeah,
I've never seen a female troll. What big feet you've got.
Oh my god.
Okay, you're going to have to fight the troll. I'm going to race for
I'm going to
Fitch.
try and negotiate with this troll. When Brian gets back, I'm going to try and negotiate with this troll first, because that's what I would do.
Yeah, you did say you would talk to the troll. I would be like, gesturing Hampson back and standing in front of him and shit, so. To go and save the man. Oh my god. I mean, you finally got a troll lunch.
Yep. But I'm going to try and negotiate with it. So if I was to look at my stat for when he gets back.
You're in trouble.
No, you got...
Persuade. I've got 2 skills on Persuade.
Yeah.
1 in Courtesy.
Yeah, I just read that. That's for the free people. So I don't know if these count under the free people.
What, Persuade?
No, Courtesy.
Oh, Persuade I might be able to.
Yeah. Insight.
I might be able to do courtesy. It's checked for me.
Insight. I mean, the insight it means you can check the character. Oh wait, yeah, I am actually on your sheet.
But Persuade does allow the hero to apply his or her reasoning to convince the individual or idea of course of action.
Yeah, I rolled stealth off your sheet before.
Cool.
Yeah, so that means I changed your hope level. So just one sec, I'll put it back. I mean, you have the same level of stealth as me, but.
So I'm going to try and reason with this.
Bob. Yeah, so you're going to try and reason with it. Traston, you're going to try and get aim on it. Shadon. Shadon's up with Traston, aren't you?
I'm up on top. I'm on the... I am probably silhouetted very nicely against the fire.
Okay.
Well, no, the fire is in front of you, so it would be difficult to see anybody on the walls.
Okay.
However, you all notice, possibly to the good, that nobody else is coming out of these huts. It's just the troll.
Oh. I say
I've got it.
We mean no harm.
So it whips around at you saying that, and Narniel and Hampson can tell that it's searching.
We have elves there with bows.
Hopefully they'll move quick enough and get this guy down while I'm trying to speak to this woman, this troll female. We come in peace. Do not attack. If you don't attack, we won't attack you. We just come to get our friend.
Persuasion?
Yeah, persuade. Can I use hope?
I would.
Yeah, I would.
I would also use prayer.
I'd use a casserole as well, but I haven't got one to hand.
Persuade and use hope, do I actually roll?
Yes. It's only for things like your special ability that gives a magical success. This is just using hope to try and do better.
Okay. So I just roll persuade.
Plus 1 die.
Plus 1. Okay. And then take 1 off my hope. Yeah.
Yep.
She likes me.
Interesting.
Nice.
Okay. So.
A Gandalf rune.
She
Okay, Bob, you can
says,
one of the game.
"Come into the light."
Can't sit there. Oh, sorry, I thought I was muted.
They ask you to come into the light.
Okay, I step forward.
Okay. Anybody else doing anything?
I'm keeping my arrow pointed at the troll.
Okay.
But I am interested in how this plays out. So I'm not shooting yet, but I am keeping it sharp and aimed.
And I'm going to try to be aware of things other than the troll that may either hear or become curious or head out. So, I mean, as long as I could see around the area and perceive around the area, I'm like, somebody else coming around.
And I'm kind of laying down with my, hands on my cheeks, watching the interaction now between the troll and the radio, totally forgetting that Fitch is there.
Where did Digger come with us, or was he?
He's behind the wall.
Yeah, he's safe.
Ready to storm in when needed.
Yeah, because we were taking Fitch back to him. Okay. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I still want to get Fitch down. At this point, we're probably not going to be able to sneak by, but at least get him down on the floor. That maybe ease something. Don't know
Okay,
whether we'd feel better.
You guys are throwing me for a loop. Alright, I think I got it.
Angie, a GM's worst nightmare.
No, it's great. I just didn't expect things to go this well for you, honestly. So
We never do.
Narniel is still stealthed. So you can, with that roll, still get up to Fitch and untie him.
Yeah.
The troll has turned her back on you to look at Iraniel as Iraniel emerges from around the side of the hut. So she will not notice. She has also kind of forgotten Hamson at this point because of Iraniel's feat success. So you two are going to have to tell me what you're doing as Iraniel is essentially distracting the troll, right?
Okay.
So let's go over to interacting, and of course, Jake and Scoon, if you guys want to do anything in the moment as well, just stop me and let me know. But back to Angie. So it turns to face you. It says, "You've the stink of the Rangers."
Yes, we do. So you'll understand that we mean you no harm right now.
Mean me no harm. Your folk have hunted my kind for centuries,
Well,
millennia.
And maybe we should call a truce. You don't harm us, we won't harm you. There's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way. And why? Why do you have to keep... We would only respond in when you harm others. So maybe stop harming people. And then you can live your own life. And I really am waffling to try and get a distraction so that you can get him down.
She just starts, chuckling. And it looks like she's thinking about what you're saying, but then her laughter just grows until eventually she's just laughing like a hearty belly laugh, throws her head back and is laughing, not maniacally, but just at the absurdity of what you're suggesting.
But we can talk now. We're talking now. Why can we not sit down and discuss?
And at that moment, she levels the halberd at you. And because of her reach and the reach of this halberd, it is inches from your throat and says, "Quiet! You have one chance." Is anybody doing anything else?
Hamson is...
As soon as I see that halberd doing something, I'm letting my arrow go.
Hamson's grabbing his sword out.
Get me killed!
No, I'm going to save you for getting killed.
So we know what Scoons, we know what Traston's doing, we know what Hampson's doing. What is Narniel doing?
From where I am, can I see that? Can I see exactly what's happening?
Absolutely. Like
Okay.
you see the troll's back, but you know where Araniel is. You saw her speaking. You see the troll bring the spear up.
Okay, so from where I am, is there any way that I can get I don't want to charge from the back. I want to get to the front. And get in the basically either get in the front or go from the side. So there's no way that the troll can move forward. Basically.
I see what you're saying. So I mean, you will have the chance to engage it if you choose to do so, but this is a very large thing. It is quite capable of reaching above your head if it needs to.
Yeah, no.
So keep that in mind. But yeah, if that's going to be your move, you're not going to do anything with Fitch. You're going to leave him tied. Well, you untied him.
Yeah, basically, I would just lay him on the floor. Okay. That was my plan, to lay him on the floor, and then.
Sure.
But my main goal here is to basically just go in and protect Araniel.
So what is Shadon doing?
If I notice that people are starting to fire and fight with the thing, then I'll, put my bow and kind of fire at him too, but I'll still try to watch around. So if there's a negative modifier for that, if I notice that there's combat with the troll, I will fire upon the troll.
Okay.
Oh, shit could really go down, couldn't they?
So I fancy some fruit toast. I'll just eat my fruit toast while you lot will die.
Wow.
All right. So several things happen at once. Narniel lays Fitch down gently, assumingly, on the ground, and still quietly charges forward. I don't know. The troll's big. Do you think maybe you do like a tuck roll under its legs and pop up in front of it? You're a hero.
Me, yeah.
That is a middle of War for Middle Earth move. So
Right?
I mean, I
Yeah.
had my,
move.
Okay.
I had my bow out. I'm just thinking, would I fire?
Would you have been holding
You
it?
can swap weapons easily, right? So
Okay.
don't sweat that too much.
Okay.
So yeah, Narniel rolls under the troll's legs and pops up in front, in between you and the troll.
Narniel,
While
I've
at the
got
same
this.
time, Hampson draws his blade and
Striking the troll from behind. The
he's
troll's
going for a
legs.
back attack.
Yeah.
So remind me when we get back to it, because that's going to give you an advantage. So you're going to get a bonus die for the back attack because it totally just lost all interest in you. Scoon's taking a shot.
To hit a weak spot, of course.
Okay. And you're getting your bonus for it being dark.
Right. Yep.
Jadon is also taking a shot from the wall.
Yeah.
Okay. And Ange is responding how you respond. But I think, is that bringing us up to the next ad break that we should do?
I think, yeah.
Yeah, I just looks like
yeah.
it.
Okay.
Well, on that note of me nearly dying. It was
Everybody's in position. Let's see how it goes down.
Okay, we're going for a 3-minute ad break, 3-4-minute ad break, guys. Spare with us. We did this now so that you do not miss part of the story to have the advert. So
After
see you in
the
3
break,
minutes.
Randall will be dead, but
All right, guys.
Nice knowing you.
See you soon.
All right. See you soon.
All around the world, people are waking up to the breaking news. Superheroes are among us.
Are they dangerous? What are their rights? Should they be illegal?
Kinetics, the world's leading expert in genetics and technology has started working with the governments around the world to find and control these mutants.
See the glowy eyes.
There we go. We're nearly back.
That was a wonderful way to come back. I swear, I'm gonna end now every single break on that trailer with that scream.
Yeah. Right, I hope you all got a stiff drink because you're gonna need it.
Everybody's gonna die. No,
everyone's gonna die.
Yeah.
No. We're in our climactic moment of our several month One Ring campaign. Our heroes have finally come face to face with a massive troll that first they heard whispers of that turned out not to be the troll. Then they heard stories about They met someone who'd run into the troll in the future, or in the past, rather. Nobody's time traveling here. That would be funny. And also, as I tried to kind of hint at before the break, but I'll bring it up just in case anyone forgot, there was a particular spider that had been pierced through a particular part of the body that, as it expired, said something about "she's coming." And this is a female troll who seems to be, based on her position here in this keep, looking above the ruins of Fornost, where multiple fires, 30 to 40 fires, are lit with who knows how many orcs and goblins arrayed amongst them. Seems to be in charge of this army, as it were.
Wow. I was expecting that to be in reference to spider.
Oh gosh, I'm not gonna make you guys face one of the old spiders that are essentially gods in Middle Earth. That's not.
So not She-Ra?
That's not happening.
Okay.
So,
I've played the games of Middle Earth long enough to know how evil Shelob can be.
yeah, and Shelob's not even the worst. She's the brood of Ungoliant, but a lot of people don't realize this. Like, the first spider Ungoliant is roughly equivalent to Gandalf and the wizards in terms of power. Like, she's a Maiar, essentially. She's just a bad one.
Wow.
Just like Sauron was a Maiar and a bad one. Anyway, moving away from the lore. So we're facing this troll. We've arrayed ourselves in combat readiness. So since the party was able, thanks to the well-meant but ultimately probably not successful negotiation tactics attempt of Iraniel, our party to... What's that?
I said I would.
You did say you would. You tried. You got her attention.
And I said it wouldn't work.
But yeah, because of that, though, because of your excellent attempt at negotiation there, and your drawing her attention, the rest of the group is able to get off a first, essentially round, a surprise round, if you will, of actions. And since we're only facing one beast here, we don't really need to move to the combat table, I don't think. We can just imagine it. So I'll go through everybody in order. I will, however, start with Digger, who takes an action that will set us off. And what happens is, and then you all can decide who acts after that. You see a hand axe, not the large axe that he was carrying, but you see a hand axe tumbling out of nowhere, out of the darkness, and it strikes the halberd offline of Iraniel's throat, just as the halberd starts to fly forward in an attempt to strike, and this hand axe knocks it offline as you hear this kind of dwarven, I don't know if any of you would know Khazad. Probably the only person who would be Shadon, being as learned as he is. You hear a dwarven battle cry as he comes around the corner with a hand axe in one hand and his massive fighting axe in the other hand. But with that hand axe thrown, who would like to take the first action?
Can I dodge?
You don't need to.
I think my arrow
you're going to be able to attack if you choose, but the hand axe threw the halberd offline, so it basically knocked it askew of being able to strike you.
Okay, cool.
I think my arrow will fly now immediately.
Okay,
Yeah,
go ahead. Make that.
Arrows are orders of.
Yeah, we'll go arrows first, and then I think we'll probably go with Hamson, and then
I get a bonus die now because of darkness?
Yeah, you get your bonus die for the darkness. Okay.
I'd probably be last because I've got this thing, and then suddenly Nigel's popped up in front of me.
Right.
His axe has come flying across my head. There's these arrows have gone fishing. I'm like that. What?
Right.
I need to input the target's parry.
Oh, yes. I should give you that, shouldn't I? My bad. I said while we were on break I should probably look up the stats for a troll, and here I didn't do it. Give me 1 second to pull up the appropriate
He
thing.
isn't even prepared. I mean, come.
I know. I'm the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, all this talk that we were gonna, all this discussions that we were only gonna talk to the troll, we weren't gonna kill it. I mean, I don't blame him.
Yeah, I kind of.
I mean, I didn't expect that great success, if we're honest, but I still should have had it up. So, okay, I've got stats. The parry is none. Big old goose egg.
So 0. Good.
Goose egg.
Seriously?
Oh, almost.
Yeah. Again, one off.
See, this is another reason why we're going to switch to Owlbear if we continue this, because the dice are much nicer over there.
Wait, can I use a hope to make it to reroll one again?
Well, you are inspired, so not only could you use a hope, you could turn it into a magical success. Oh, no, sorry, that only works. Nope, that only works for skills. Not attacks. Yep, out of combat. So, but you can spend a point of hope to roll another die to get you at least the hit. And if it comes up as a 6, then you'll get an effect, essentially. So, yeah, just roll a d6 for me. 5. So you do hit.
Yeah, but it's again, one short of a 6.
Right, but still, it is. So what is your damage with the bow?
My damage is a 4.
Okay.
Do you need to know?
Got it. Nope, that's it. So, one arrow flashes out of the darkness behind Iraniel. Possibly, it's probably over your head. I was going to have it go right past your ear, but no, it's over your head because the troll is tall. And strike the troll in the shoulder. And then Shadon.
Yeah, I really hope I'm going to hit, and the keyword on hope, which I will use once, so I add 1 bonus die. And let's see if this is rolling even the right thing. Oh, how come it doesn't? Target parry is 0, okay.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I'm just watching out everywhere else. I mean, it's just quick. I didn't take the time.
So you do hear another arrow fly over Iraniel's head, but it just kind of flashes off into the darkness and strikes the prone form of Fitch. No, I'm kidding. It flies off into the darkness. Ow.
You know, they shouldn't have painted that red target on him. I mean, that was just totally distracting.
All right, so that I think will bring us to Hamson. You're muted, Strain.
Do we need to be in a particular stance?
Thank you for calling it. So melee combatants do now need to pick a stance. Make sure you click it on your sheet.
I will be forward stance. I'm going to strike behind the troll.
Which, and I already said, it's going to give you a bonus die.
Yep, I'm also going to spend a point of hope.
Okay.
Give 2 bonus dice.
Okay.
Your parry is 0, wasn't it?
Correct.
Damn.
Still miss.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And also, 1 short.
Ones. Yeah.
So your, I believe it's called Spider Slayer now, correct?
Yes.
Spider Slayer manages to find one of the patches of mail that's just kind of sewn into the troll's breeches, and it happened to be right behind the knee, which is a great place normally to aim for, as Hamson has learned, but unfortunately does not penetrate. So I think we then agreed that Ange would be last. So Narniel, what is Narniel doing?
So how tall is the troll compared to me? Because basically, my thought is I would just strike straight forward. So I don't really know where I'd be striking.
I'd pretty much just hit her in the crotch. She's easily 2.5 times your height.
That's kind of why I wanted to ask. It's like, you know. But yeah, probably a little bit to the right, maybe.
Sure, going for a thigh.
Yeah, so it'll literally just be lunging forward with it. So.
Okay. Two-handed.
Yeah, two-handed. Do the forward.
Taking forward stance.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one. Okay, let's use a point of hope. Target's parry is 0. The fuck?
Ooh. Sadly, no.
Oh my. Right, you got 2 ones.
Be happy I didn't roll the eye, because the eye works for me like the Gandalf runes do for you guys. For you, an eye is just 0, which is still not helpful. So
me and Hanson got 2 ones.
Yeah, she is surprisingly agile. As you thrust forward, she just kind of takes a quick half step back with that leg, and maybe you're not as used to fighting something quite so large, but your targeting is a bit off. You're much more used to fighting something about your size.
Yeah.
All right, that brings us to Iraniel. You've seen Narniel miss. You hear a kind of a scraping clang from behind the beast, and you can kind of see Hamson back there attacking it from behind. You did see an arrow pierce its shoulder, but otherwise, this beast looks unharmed.
I am going to try and jump up with my spear and spear it in the throat.
Okay, so you're going to want to take forward stance, would be my guess, or do you not want to leave yourself open to attack? Because if you take forward stance, she's going to get a bonus die to attack you. If you use...
No, I'm just going for the instinct thing. I'm not overthinking this. I'm going to jump up so it'll be forward then.
Okay. So yeah, make sure you click forward stance and then make your combat roll.
And I've got my spear. I'm like,
yep.
Like that.
Make sure you use the two-handed line.
Okay, and any bonus die? There's nothing. It's given me 1. So yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's already given you 1.
Target parry 0.
Correct.
Oh, Panzeruni.
Oh,
but
man.
I miss her totally and fall on the floor at the side of her.
No, she just kind of, again, maybe you're not used to fighting something this size, but she just kind of leans her head back and the spear just kind of doesn't quite get to where you were aiming at. Now, however, it's her turn.
Yeah.
And so, just so we all know what's happening, in the One Ring, some creatures, such as this troll, have a stat called Might. Well, all creatures have a stat called Might. If their Might is 1, which most things are, that means they get 1 action. Her Might is 2, so she gets to attack or do things twice. So she is going to, with her fine elven halberd, she is actually probably going to... Yeah, I mean, I'll give Narniel what she wants. She's going to attack Narniel because Narniel is the clear threat in front of her.
She don't do a Thor on that halberd because it's elven made.
Do what now? Oh. That's funny, but no. So yeah, she's going to go ahead and make an attack against Narniel. What is your parry?
It's all the way on the right underneath.
Total parry 18.
Should be my wits. 18. Good, thank you. All right, so yeah. Lucky for you, I rolled Gandalf, so that's a 0 for her, and not enough on the rest either, I don't think. No, certainly not enough. So she swings at you once and misses, and then she, again, quite agile for her size, she kind of spins and sweeps around and tries to strike at the nagging little thing that hit her in the back of the knee. So she's going to sweep and try and hit strain. What's Hamson's parry?
A little nagging
16.
thing. A little nagging thing.
And he's right. That's correct.
All right, so she does manage to hit Hamson with this, and also not with an injury though. So Hamson is going to take 6 points of damage.
Where do I record that?
Should be wounds are next to your strength. Endurance.
Endurance.
Yep.
Right.
So reduce your current endurance.
6. Yeah.
And yeah, so that's where we're at there. Okay. So it's you all get to react again. Just round and round we go. Who would like to go first?
I'm gonna shoot again.
Okay, take your shot.
Yeah, let the archers go first.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they'd have a quicker recoil than us anyway.
Oh, yes.
Uh-oh.
Wow, nice.
I'm looking at it. What'd you get?
Wow.
Piercing blow. 16. Okay. And Shadon?
I am not using hope this time only because I was so disheartened by my previous failure that I cannot muster the hope to invest in it. And
you're not out of hope yet, are you?
No, I am not. No.
Okay.
I just don't. I don't see it. It's like I'm just fumbling. It's. Where's my books? I need my books.
So that pierce for failure with Shadon. So Shadon's arrow flies wide, and that's an injury 16. Ooh, yeah, she's good. So you do strike her with your arrow, Skoon. However, it does not bite quite as deeply as you thought it might have. However, it does bite, and with your masterful aim, where do you strike her this time? On her massive body.
I think I'm going
any place it's not an instant kill. Like, you don't hit her in the eye, but
I might be aiming towards it, but
okay. If you were aiming at like an eye, then yeah, you see your arrow just kind of graze her forehead and scalp as it flies off into the distance.
Still hurts.
All right. Yeah, it does. So now we have our close combat combatants. What are y'all doing?
I'm going to strike her again. Do I still get the bonus of being behind her, or is she not behind? I'm not behind now.
Given that you and Narniel are on opposite sides, and she's so large, yeah, I feel fine giving you guys like a flanking bonus. So I'm going to give you both a bonus die for as long as you're kind of splitting her attention. That'll extend to Ange as well.
Okay.
Good, get it.
Yeah, let's just see. Do you get a bonus die for being in forward stance?
Yeah.
You should.
Ah, right, okay. Bugger. Don't worry, we'll be fine.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
I should have had an extra dice last time, but we're not worrying about that now.
Oh, okay. So you got a great success. You do have some options with the sword. You can either do a heavy-handed blow and deal additional damage, or You can choose to pierce. I don't think that's going to help you, though, with what you currently rolled. What? Where is it? Oh, yeah. Pierce isn't going to help you. So ignore that.
I just do the extra damage then.
Extra damage? All right. So
that's 3
you basically
there.
do 3 plus your might.
3 plus my might. Okay. Hamson's might is he's mighty, obviously, and I'm looking at where my might is.
Yeah.
Where's the might in the character sheet?
Left side. The left-hand skills should be.
Left-hand skills.
I can't see him, mate.
I can't see him right.
Strength. That's
Oh,
what I
strength.
meant. So yeah,
so
your
the strength rating.
Hampson's not weak. His strength rating is 4, so that's 4 additional damage.
Okay, cool. There you go. Right.
For a total of 7. Okay. Narniel?
I think on this one, I'm going to change my stance. I can do that, can't I?
You can?
Yeah, so I'm going to move into open stance.
Okay. So no bonus, no negative?
Yeah, because I want to use my royalty revealed rally ability. Because I can do that as a secondary action if I'm in open, so I can still attack. Okay.
So how are you revealing your royalty? Give me think like the movies. Give me a short expletive or statement that you make as you reveal your greatness.
I didn't think of that. I think it would just I don't know, I was just thinking of doing something like I don't know. Now I've got to actually think of I didn't it says royalty revealed, and I genuinely didn't even register in my brain that I'd have to do that. I think it'd just be something as basic as again, for.
Can I give you a suggestion?
Yeah.
On what I'm picturing?
She says, please.
Because I was just genuinely thinking like the warrior just roaring, just like,
Sure.
for the win kind of thing.
Your family sigil is exposed because you're.
So swinging. I'm imagining that before you strike this time, you stand up fully to your impressive height as a Dunedain and hold your blade above your head and shout something along the lines of, "I'm a daughter of the Dunedain, you foul beast, you will fall before me," as you lash out at it. And that kind of exclamation of your greatness is so powerful that it potentially, you still need to make the roll, rallies your comrades. So why don't you go ahead and make that roll, which is battle.
Oh, battle. Okay.
I mean, I could be wrong. I thought we found that was battle, though.
Yeah,
You're talking about it.
I do remember talking about it. It does sound about right, but I didn't type it in on my skills.
Hang on, I'll come to it.
I remember talking about battle, about taking points and stuff.
Open stance, rally count. Oh, no, it's in Hearten.
Okay. Okay. No.
Oh.
I did spend hope on that as well.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Well, it was an attempt. You can do that. Is that only once per combat you can do that? As a free action?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you tried. She unfortunately is not impressed by your declaration, because even holding your blade above your head, you are significantly smaller than she is.
Yeah.
And your companions, unfortunately, are still feeling the troll fear rumbling within them, and it's not enough to assist them.
Okay.
So you still get to attack, though.
Yeah. We still get the 1 bonus die, don't we?
Yes.
Does anything really bad happen if we run out of hope? Is that when the darkness, shadow starts coming?
It can, yeah. But I will tell you that I'm imagining after this escapade, even if we continue off stream, we're probably going to take a Yule fellowship phase where everything resets, right? Okay. So if you want to blow all your hope in this last bit, do it.
Okay.
I'm so going to do that.
Just save some for the final combat.
This is not the final combat?
No, it is.
It will be.
This is the
It
softening.
will be either way.
Okay, so great success. Yep. No pierce. Do you want to... How'd you roll, a 16? Or no, you rolled a 7, so that's not enough for a pierce. So do you want to use that great success to do a heavy blow? Add your strength rating to your damage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do that blow.
So the damage is 5,
right?
Plus my strength rating is 6, so that's 11.
Whoa!
Nice.
Big hit.
Nice.
She's awesome.
Big hit. All right. You've wounded her. Tell me how. Nothing deadly, but describe it.
I think it'd probably be more of a similar thing. I'm just going for what's in front of me. So, well, I'm behind her now.
No, you're in front of her. Hampson's still behind her.
Oh yeah, she came back around. So it's more of the same. Like I'm just bringing it down on probably a thigh at this point. It's obviously I'm not. So it's just I probably just gouged through a thigh.
Okay. So yeah, you slice through a significant wound into her thigh as you catch her poorly footed. And then we move into Araniel.
Okay, so I see which leg that Narniel hit, and I slide round to get the opposite leg with both hands, and I try and spear down into what I perceive to be her kneecap.
Still in forward?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm going to use 2 hope on that.
Nice.
Okay.
Because I want to kneecap this bitch.
Sadly, it's not.
You get 1 for flanking.
Yeah, I already get that anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sadly, it's not an arrow.
Oh, it was a success!
Yay!
Cool. So yeah, what's your damage on your spear? 2-handed?
4.
Okay. So yeah, you definitely managed to lacerate her other leg, but unfortunately it's not enough to penetrate her thick kind of muscular blubbery hide that trolls have. But again, you have injured her.
Quick question about spears.
Sure.
If I do that, does that action include the pull-out as well?
We can say it does, sure.
Good. I had this vision of a spear being stuck in her kneecap.
No, it's not stuck. Yeah.
That's what causes the majority of the damage, pulling out, not pushing in.
Yeah.
So she's going to go again.
There's no one behind me.
She's actually going to lash out at Araniel this time, because you and Narniel still, because you're both in front of her. But she's not going to get the bonus die against Narniel. So we'll do that one first. And 16, yeah? Or 18 for you?
18. Total power, yeah, 18.
Okay. That is actually successful. Okay. With a great success. So, Narniel is going to receive... check her strength or whatever she adds. Oh, right, she adds her attribute bonus. Ooh. Okay.
Well, that's not good.
It's not awesome. So Narniel is going to receive. Yep. She stabs the elven halberd forward and deals 15 points of endurance damage to you with that strike.
Flipping heck!
Does that take into account, like, armor?
The armor only comes into play if she does a pierce, which she didn't do.
So
See, if they pierce you, they can deal a wound to you, and if you take 2 wounds in rapid succession, you die.
What the jeebus?
But she didn't pierce. It's fine. She just did endurance damage. Endurance damage heals so quickly. It's kind of ridiculous, but it still hurts you in the middle of a fight. Did that dip you down into the fatigue zone?
Oh, weary. Yeah.
So make sure you check weary on your sheet so it knows to not count 1s, 2s, and 3s on your rolls anymore.
It's automatically checked it. I just double checked.
Oh, did it? Great. Awesome. Yeah. Okay. So she rips the halberd free of your sister, Raniel, and then sweeps it across at you in a fluid motion. What's your total parry? It's by your wits.
Parry. 17.
17. Okay. So unfortunately, she's also going to be able to strike you again with a great success. So she slashes across the front of your body, possibly parting some of you're wearing a leather jerkin, yeah? For armor. Possibly doing some damage to the armor. That's just description. Don't worry, your armor's not damaged. And deals again 15 points of endurance.
Okay. Ouch. Okay. Happy about that.
And as she does so, she bellows at both of you. Just this trollish, spittle-flying, guttural bellow. It's not even language. She's not even saying anything. But you're certain that things in the distance might be able to hear it.
Holy moly.
And as the only person who has indicated that he has any interest in what's going on beyond the courtyard, Shadon distinctly hears drums in the distance.
Holy.
Oh no.
Oh, we're so...
little drum, bum 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 bum.
All right. Now, that's going to bring us to Digger, who didn't act last round except for to throw that thing. So he's going to appear out of the darkness beside Araniel and Narniel and take a swipe with his axe. Actually, as he runs in, he throws his hand axe so that he can grab his main axe with both hands and strike.
Fucking style, man.
And unfortunately is not able to penetrate the hand axe. You can see it fly past you, and the elves on the wall have a particularly good view of this, which might give them some things to say about dwarves in the future, but the hand axe literally just bounces off of the troll's chest. And then the larger axe that he's wielding now with 2 hands. He hits her, but it kind of skitters off of some of the bits of mail that she's incorporated into her clothing. And that brings us back to you guys. So I guess we'll stick with archers first. Again, unless there's anything else you want to do. You don't have to just keep attacking.
I keep raining death.
Okay.
Great success.
Great success.
Wow. Ooh, man, you got a great success even though you rolled an eye. Jeez.
We had that before, Narnia with her longsword.
Yeah. It's just that's
That was
awesome.
also a great success with an eye.
So your Pierce is not going to help because here. So basically, what the Pierce great success does is it increases the number that you rolled on your feet die in order to make it a piercing injury, but you essentially rolled a 0. So you can't increase that enough to make it a piercing injury. However, because you rolled a great success, you can make it a heavy-handed blow. Yes, you can do that even with bows. So you can do your damage for your bow plus your might, or your strength. I don't know why I want to keep calling it might, because might sounds cooler. But plus your strength.
Damage plus strength rating.
Correct.
9 in total.
Ooh, that's big. Where do you hit her? Again, not a killing shot, but where do you hit her?
Well, if this was the Elder Scrolls, this would be the end of her career. I'm gonna hit her in the knee. Put an arrow in the knee.
Okay. So she takes an arrow to the knee, and what's interesting is this arrow does drive her down onto that knee. So she has taken a decent amount of damage at this point and has been driven down to one knee. So Shadon.
Yeah, Shadon is actually going to strengthen his resolve, use hope with all his might, and attempt to strike at this one. I believe I see that there is hope. This troll is taking damage. Let's just see what happens. And we move on as I'm hearing the drums and getting really rattled. Guys, we gotta hurry up. They're gonna come any minute now.
Oh my gosh, I need to go back through this set and track how many eyes we've rolled, because I think you may have gotten some attention.
I think it's wonderful.
Well, we rolled 2 eyes.
I don't think you need to go
success.
back and look at those if it's going to be bad.
Well, it won't happen this session, but if we keep playing off stream, you don't get to roll that many eyes and not have something take notice of you.
Yeah.
I
anyway.
think it's all
eyes
your
at the
imagination.
We've rolled
right.
4 eyes this session.
Yeah, believe me, I just marked it down. Scoon, thank you. All right, so Shadon's arrow again flies wide. Shadon, unfortunately, maybe not as destined for archery as he once thought he was. Perhaps needs a little bit more practice. But that brings us to our close combatants. We'll just go ahead and stick with the same order with Hamson leading us off.
Well, I'm going to strike them down with all of my might.
Oh, sorry.
Is Hamson narrating for himself?
Yes, definitely.
It wouldn't surprise me, seriously.
What is Miss still saying?
Okay, so I'm using a point of might. I'm in forward stance. Why does forward stance not give me a bonus anymore?
It should automatically.
Try putting it to open them forward again. It might change it, because mine didn't do it at first.
I closed my game. Can you 2 seconds? Yes, I don't know why it did that.
Shadon can still hear the drums in the distance. Boom, boom.
It's shaking me to my core.
Are there actually drums? Maybe Shadon is hallucinating.
Oh yeah.
In fear.
It was that wine you got from Hampson.
Nice.
Ooh, very nice. So not in range to do a piercing strike. However, that is still a success. So your base damage is 4, yeah?
But my might is 4, so yes, so that's...
No. The base damage of the weapon is what you go first. Your strength only comes into play if you do a great success.
Oh, right, okay. My base damage is...
Short sword.
3.
Oh, 3 with the short sword, okay. Got it.
Oh, for God's sake.
So you are keeping at it on attacking her from behind, but again, you're not doing much more than creating a few nicks and cuts here and there. Moving on to Narniel. She's still down on one knee.
Yeah, so I'll move back to forward stance, and I'm gonna try and strike her chest.
Okay.
I'm going to use some more hope. Let's do it. No parry. Oof.
Nice.
Okay.
Not in piercing range, so probably heavy blow again.
Yeah, I'll be bringing it down like this. So yeah.
Yeah. And your heavy blow is 11, if I recall correctly, with 1 great success. What's crazy is if you had 2 great successes, you add your strength twice.
Wow.
Like you can really ramp up the damage if you get multiple great successes. Edit 11 points. That is marked. As you bring your sword overhead in a chopping motion, maybe find a little purchase in the collarbone area of her armor, maybe right where it meets, right where it, her flesh is exposed. And that brings us to Iraniel.
Yeah, I'm getting really peed off now, so I'm going to get 2-hand, jump up, and try and stab her in the throat again.
Okay, well, she's definitely more at your level now, down on one knee, so yeah, make that roll.
I'm weary. I lose my bonus die, don't I?
No.
No. So weary makes 1s, 2s, and 3s not count on the skill dice.
Oh, okay.
And that should already be figured in.
No, it's disappeared. So I'll put the 1 on because I know there should be 1 there. And 1. So yeah, so I jump up and try and get her in the chin, well, in the throat.
Okay.
Oh God.
Ugh, weary failure.
Why is
It's just called a weary failure because you failed because of weary. Otherwise, you probably would have succeeded.
Oh yeah, just.
So yeah, you're after taking the wound or the strike that you did across your chest. It just really is wearing you down and makes it difficult for you to strike.
No.
As we move into her turn, she's going to do 2 things. The first thing that she's going to do is, as she comes to her feet, she's going to swing the elven halberd around her in kind of like a warding kind of whirlwind type motion. Not really attempting to strike any of you that are in close combat with her, but really just trying to get you to back off.
Good advice.
So I think what we'll do with that is we will have each of you make a valor roll in order to maintain your courage and try to stay in close combat with her. So you should be able to roll valor.
Oh yeah.
At the top of your character sheet.
And we add hope to valor.
Yes, you can add hope to anything.
So what do I need to do?
Only the melee characters.
Only the melee characters. You
All right,
you guys
okay.
you're already backed off from her.
Oh no, I'm not.
Yeah, you're melee.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, you're melee.
Oh yeah.
Oh dear, oh dear,
There's another-
oh dear,
Oh dear is right.
oh dear, oh dear.
Oh, number 5.
This is not good.
Oh
And a
no.
weary failure. Okay,
Oh, no.
so Araniel and Hamson both are just kind of overawed and not pushed back physically, but like you stagger backwards as this blade and the haft of the elven halberd like swing in front of you several times. Narniel, however, is able to maintain her position, possibly even parrying the blade as it attempts to strike you. So you're going to have an opportunity to resist this if you choose, but she tries to move away from you. You want to stop her?
I don't.
Or do you want to keep protecting your sister?
Yeah, if I was to see that Iraniel and Hampton obviously affected by that,
Yep.
then I would let her just move away from them basically.
Okay. So she moves away from you, darts around Hampson, who's already been kind of overawed and staggering back, and she picks up Fitch
Oh shit.
by the back of his neck and holds him up to where he's easily 7 feet off the ground. The rest of his body, his arms just hanging limply. And she uses her other hand to bring the point of the halberd to his throat. And looks at all of you and says, "It's your call."
Oh crapola.
I think
Take
I would.
Leave, or he dies.
Can I shoot a deadly blow to her?
I would noticeably lower my sword.
Okay, you're lowering your sword. Scoon, you just said you're gonna shoot her.
Well, no, I asked if there's a way that I could shoot her that would, or be able not to do what she wants to do.
So here's what it would take to put her down before she can murder Fitch. You would have to roll an injury. No, actually, you can't, because 1 injury is not enough to put her down. You would need Shadon and Scoon, Traston, to roll a great success with an injury
shit.
in order to do enough damage to her to kill her outright. Otherwise, any damage she takes, she instantly kills Fitch.
So, shit on. Are we going to try this, or
I'm not in earshot of you. I'm seeing. What do
That's
I
a good
see?
point. Well, you are an elf, so you
Okay.
can hear Traston even if he kind of whispers it.
All right.
I'm
You're taking the
actually
life
thinking
man
of doing
in your
it,
hand.
like I'm whispering, knowing as you are a fellow elf. I'm gonna take the shot.
Odds are, I'm going to be honest with the odds here. Odds are this is going to get Fitch killed.
That's why I'm not taking it immediately.
I'm pausing long enough that I'm not giving him an answer.
As long as I don't
am-
get an answer, I don't shoot.
Okay.
Because I
So-
think I would know that just my shot will not be enough.
Okay, good. I think you would know that as well. Yes. So, in that pause, as long as nobody else does anything, she sees Narniel lower her blade. What are Hamson and Arania doing?
Hamson is lost a little bit of hope because he was that whirling blade. So he's probably backing away.
Okay, backing away.
And as I back away, I go, "Oh, you want to talk now?"
Digger,
Oh, nice.
Digger throws his axe to the side, right? In response to Araniel saying, "Oh, you want to talk now?" The troll kind of grins and says, "Oh, there's no talking," and throws Fitch at you. As she throws Fitch at you, she turns and she runs. And you see her just leap over the broken wall on the other side of the keep. I'm gonna give Shadon and Skoon a chance to shoot if they want to.
Yes.
But she leaps over the broken wall on the other side of the keep. That particular wall is easily too high for any of you to just chase her and jump over. You would have to climb it.
Dragging
She's gonna get a lead.
Come on, shit.
As she throws Fitch and turns and runs, Digger actually runs out in front of all of you and dives to try and catch Fitch, seeing his wounded and broken form.
Yeah.
And manages to kind of catch Fitch and prevent him from hitting the ground hard. Go ahead and take your shots, archers. Oh, that's a good shot.
Yeah. Oh.
If you now take a shot and it is also a great, then she's dead.
Well, she
the
has to
problem
fail
that I have.
checks.
Yeah, the problem
So
is
don't get
that
too excited.
She might die.
threw.
Come on.
As soon as she threw Fitch, that's when I'm letting my arrow loose because that's like she's gonna kill him because she's throwing him, and that's
why I
probably
do it
his.
too.
That's
my
fair.
justification.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
what I would.
She
do too.
actually did fail the armor check against Skoon's shot. So she has taken a wound,
And I
but
missed.
Shadon misses.
Good.
Oh wait, I forgot. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. I missed. That's all good.
So Shadon's arrow hits the wall. You hear her like squeal in pain, I think is the appropriate term.
Uh-huh.
And she gets hit by Traston's arrow. And she disappears over the wall. At that moment, you also, all of you now, in the silence after having her run, hear boom, 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 boom. And if anyone looks, you can see Torchlight heading your direction. In the
I
direction
suggest we get out of here now.
Yeah.
Run away, little
It's,
girl! Run away!
I mean, can Digger manage Finch quite well?
Oh, easily.
Okay.
Yeah, Digger is stout. Digger
Then, yeah,
could
we'll just-
probably carry 3 of you.
He's a buff boy. Okay.
Yeah, but
Maybe
two of
4
them
if you
are
count
elves.
Hamson.
2 of us are elves. Elves are light
That's
bone.
true. I mean, if you can figure out how to stack all of you appropriately, he could probably carry all of you.
Nice.
Since the elves are so light.
Yeah, we don't even
But-
fall through the snow. I mean, come
Right.
Yeah, then we'll just I'll make sure he's got a good hand in on him and pick up his weapons or anything, and then we'll
Oh, cool. Yeah. He sees that and kind of gives you a nod, recognizing the warrior in you and retrieving his weapons. Here's the question. Are you going to retreat through the city, or are you going to kind of go out and around and try and take your time and stealthily get back to where you've stored the cart and the horses?
Out and round, I think.
Yeah.
yeah.
Probably a good idea. It's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
I'll lead!
So, as you kind of head back out into the wild and leave what would have been the ruins of the city, we'll say the elves can definitely hear the orc warband, for lack of a better term. Squealing and shouting and whatnot in the distance. But you also hear a very familiar voice giving orders, louder than the rest. It's a female voice that you heard not moments ago as you disappear into the darkness and find your way back to the place where you've stored your horses. The journey back to Archit may be somber, maybe somewhat happy due to the rescue of Fitch, but it is uneventful, and you find yourselves back in Archit. Fitch has yet to regain consciousness, but, well, that's not fair. Would anybody like to make a healing check to assist Fitch? There you go.
Thought so. I believe also you are the best at healing of all.
This is a weary failure and kills Fitch.
I could give her an assist. I have. It's favored for me with 2 pips.
So do I get a bonus on that?
Yeah,
bonus die for straight on helping, yeah.
Can I give it to her to be a magical success with my ability?
You could. You could just do it as a magical success. You don't give it to her. So
all right.
So
I am doing it in the background so that it looks like Iraniel is doing it.
I appreciate your attempt, but it doesn't work like that. So
it does today.
You try to help her, and you feel like the two of you feel like he'll mend, but he's still not regained consciousness, and he's still quite injured. He was tortured badly by this troll and her lieutenants. However, seeing that he's not recovering quite quickly enough, Shaidan calls upon some of the knowledge of the elves, and with Raniel's assistance, possibly Narniel's, possibly several of you go out and gather various herbs that Shaidan asks you to do as he studies one of his books of lore that he travels with. He then performs a little-known rite of healing with the assistance of these herbs that helps Fitch regain consciousness. He's still quite injured. He's not perfectly healed. And it looks as if he will probably have now, in addition to the scar from his first encounter with that foul troll, he will likely have burn scars on his chest from the ordeal that he's just been through. But yeah, he does regain consciousness, and so he's despondent. He is very upset. He thanks you for saving him, but you can tell that there's something within him that's broken as you return him to his people. Not all
fed him lambus bread.
I hope what's broken will prevent him from going out again next year.
Well, as we finish this streamed chronicle, I think we'll finish with the realization that as he returns to his people, he's no longer their leader. At least not now. Maybe that can change with time. But his wife, Lissa, steps forward and takes charge of leading the people, as well as caring for him. But it becomes very, very apparent, even within the short time, perhaps, that you remain in Archit, that it will take more for him to regain his confidence and the state that he can be a leader of men in. All that said, he is safe. The people of Archit are safe. Whether or not they're aware of the force developing in Fornost, that's actually up to all of you, because Fitch says nothing of it. And in fact, before you return to Archit, Fitch pleads with you not to tell the others about the force growing in the north.
I think we would definitely, like, especially Daniel, would definitely try and press as to why, because it's a clear force of evil. It's an army going to attack.
So, as his last act of concern for his people, he begs you not to tell them because he knows that some of his people will want to ride to the north and try to deal with the threat. And his people are so few, he's afraid that they would lose more than it would be worth sending. And he says, by all means, speak to others, go to Bree, try to convince them, go to, and he looks at Shadon, go to Rivendell, try to convince them, go to your rangers in the north and gather forces, but don't bring the toll to my people.
So what do we say happened?
It's up to
What do you want to tell them?
Oh, I see. You're asking him.
Yeah.
I would almost say to him, you know that when they march, you might be the first to fall.
Which is why we need help, Master Elf. We're not strong enough to stand on our own. Tell them that the troll took me. That's true enough.
Mm-hmm.
But let my people live in some semblance of peace, not fearing this massive force on our borders. Especially when there's nothing we can do about it.
Okay.
This is a tough one.
But it's up to you. So, yeah, I think with that, unless there's anything that you want to do in Archit, we can imagine that you spend some time with the folk of Archit. Possibly. Go ahead.
Probably. I think we would probably not tell them straight away about, so they wouldn't go off and fight the north. Maybe without us. I think we'd give him that. But I think when we come back with help, we would give them the option to fight then with help. I think we would agree to that.
Oh, okay. Well, that would be something we would have to deal with later in that meeting.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can imagine that you all spend a few days with the folk of Archit, possibly looking over Fitch to make sure that his recovery continues. Lissa is more than happy to give you access to him, but once you've returned to Archit, he mainly just is bedridden and is very uninterested in conversation. And any attempts that you make to try to lighten his mood or help him recover mentally is met with silence. He spends most of his time looking out of the window in his bedchamber at the trees. From there, I think we will have to decide what we do in the future. Should we continue?
I think there's probably also a dwarf doing something very similar in a room all alone.
Oh, that's a really good point. Thank you.
Looking outside the window at the trees.
So actually, what will happen, it takes a few days for you to return to Archit from Fornost. And in the first evening, when you stop, after having gained some distance, so probably it was already night when you left Fornost as the warband was roused to your presence. Perhaps you skipped any kind of rest that night and only rested the following night. That night around the campfire, Digger is very distracted. He's not upset. He's not despondent. He's concerned for Fitch, obviously, and looks on as you attempt to care for him. But he seems very distracted. And in the morning, as you all prepare to leave, Digger's gone.
Oh.
Okay.
And it's very easy to find his tracks, and you can tell that his tracks head towards the nearest.
Oh.
Interesting.
Hmm. All right.
Point. And there is a note written in the common tongue, although it's very clearly kind of the blocky, like angular script of a dwarf. And the note just simply says, "I'm off to continue hunting. Take care of that man. Perhaps we'll meet again."
Oh, I love him. But he will survive. It's been said he will survive.
Yeah, we know his future.
He will survive. Yeah.
It was made canon.
It was. Yeah, I made the mistake of telling you the future that last
So
session.
we know he is well with the world.
He's off to hunt some orc. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, I will let the others know about the note. But I think we'd all know that he can handle himself. You know, he'd been on his own for so long and everything anyway. So.
Yeah.
Our paths will cross again.
Yes.
Definitely.
And I think that's where we'll call it.
Excellent.
For our
Thank you,
first
Brian.
season of The
Thank
One
you
Ring.
so much.
That's so cool.
Oh, thank you.